In today's news, accident leaves male seriously injured. Walwyn and Stevens appear in court with matter adjourned. $2.4 million allocated to address socioeconomic needs of the BVI. Shavon Henley is acting human resources director and plans still exist to construct junior schools on Tortola. But viewers, these and more stories when 24 News return.
Hun, it's asking for your password.
Huh?
You were logged out. I need the password.
BR.
What's the rest?
BRANDI, the number 4, EVER?
Who's Brandy?
We're like the password that isn't your ex-girlfriend's name. CG Insurance. Good like that.
I should have changed it.
You should have.
You're right.
Freeze. Choose your mix, choose your flavor.
Welcome viewers to the Friday, January 13th edition of 24 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. Our viewers, leading today's news, a lone motorist has been left nursing serious injuries at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital following a vehicular accident after 1 p.m. today. Well, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force confirmed the incident in a brief statement to the press, where the individual was reportedly riding a motorcycle at the time of the accident. Well, investigations are ongoing. Well, moving on, viewers, where former Education Minister Myron Walwyn and Assistant Secretary within the Ministry of Education responsible for projects, Ms. Lorna Stevens, appeared before the Magistrates Court on Wednesday, January 12, 2022. Both are charged with breach of trust in relation to the Elmer Stout High School perimeter wall project and were granted $30,000 bail. Walwyn is being represented by former Director of Prosecutions Terrence Williams and Stevens by former Senior Crown Counsel Valston Graham. During the sitting before Senior Magistrate Tamia Richards, the defense questioned the Director of Public Prosecution Tiffany Scatliff to state the facts of the offense. The defense specifically asked or requested that this information include the protocols and sections of the Public Finance Management Act and the Finance Management Regulations that were breached. It was stated by the defense that this information was not in the complaint laid before the Magistrates Court and desires that this be disclosed in full detail at soonest. The defense also told the court that the complaint lodged by the prosecution did not specify the sections the DPP intended to rely upon, and as such, the matter was adjourned until next month. More as this story continues to develop. Moving on, viewers, where some $2.4 million has been allocated to the Ministry of Social Development to address many of the socio-economic needs that have been plaguing the territory. A minister responsible, Honorable Marlon Penn, made a disclosure during a recent House of Assembly sitting.
The socioeconomic circumstances of our people have been tested during the past 5 years. And more than ever, we require a higher level of diligence to support persons who are struggling for one purpose or the other within our society. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to report that we were able to, through discussion with my honorable colleagues in the Cabinet and with the members of the House of Assembly, allocated some $2.4 million in the budget to help to address many of those socioeconomic needs that have plagued our society and to assist persons within our society of those challenges or concerns that they have.
Penn revealed that the $2.4 million allocation is a huge increase from the approximately $500,000 that was allocated in the previous budget.
This is a significant increase from what the budget was last year. The budget was just under or just above $500,000. So imagine the need to do more, and the assessment was done, and it said to us that there's a greater need within the society, and the monies need to be allocated. And I want to commend the Minister of Finance and my colleague ministers for seeing that need and making the sacrifices in the different areas to ensure that the people of this territory have the resources available to address those social and economic needs that they have in our territory.
To address the Social Development Department's present public relations dilemma, Minister Penn said an aggressive public relations outreach campaign will be launched early this year. He said it will go into a number of communities to inform persons on the proper protocols to apply for the respective assistance.
One of the things that the department and the ministry have discussed over the last couple of weeks is we've developed, that is going to be launched early in 2023, aggressive public relation campaign and outreach campaign to go into the communities, to do more direct assessments of individuals, to ensure that the process for applying for assistance is more streamlined, and ensure that persons who are required of support get that support that they need. Many times persons who really need the support don't often come to the departments or apply for that support. And I have said to the CEO, the head of the Social Development Department and the PS, that we need to be more aggressive in terms of our outreach to our vulnerable persons within our population. And we have pledged to have that done, and early in 2023, you can expect to have a public relation campaign being launched and a strategy being executed.
Penn also said that after more than 14 years, his ministry has commenced the process of developing a revised schedule for the administering of assistance to individuals.
We have also started to develop a revised schedule in terms of how we administer assistance to individuals. The last review was done over 14 years ago in terms of the levels in which persons were, the caps on which persons were given assistance. As we know, the things have changed significantly since then. The rental caps on how much we could give in terms of support to persons who need rental assistance, support to persons for monthly assistance, and different support. And that will be coming premier to Cabinet in early 2023. So we could give some additional support to those individuals who will be receiving monthly stipends, and also those persons who are receiving rental support and different income supports through the Social Development Department.
Ms. Shavon Henley was appointed to act as Director of Human Resources effective January 1st until June 2023. More in this report.
Ms. Shavon Henley was appointed to act as Director of Human Resources for the Government of the Virgin Islands effective January 1st until June 2023. Ms. Henley's term as Acting Director immediately follows the end of Deputy Director Ms. Kaiser Penn's acting appointment, following the decision to have two officers serve in the post in the absence of the Director, Mrs. Michelle Donovan Stevens, who is presently on study leave. Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands, Mr. David D. Archer, Jr., said that he is pleased that Ms. Henley will have the opportunity to continue to guide the Human Resources Department in Mrs. Donovan Stevens' absence. Ms. Henley, he said, is a highly competent and efficient public officer whose hard work has granted her the opportunity to take command of the Human Resources Department to continue to improve its many functions and operations while Mrs. Donovan Stevens is away. I look forward to seeing the department continue to grow under keen leadership. Mr. Archer also commended Ms. Penn on the work done during her stint since July 1st, 2022. Although her time has now come to a close, it has set a great foundation for Ms. Henley, and I am extremely proud and grateful for what was done under Ms. Penn's guidance. Ms. Henley brings to the role a bachelor's degree in business administration with a minor in communications and a master's degree in business administration. She obtained both degrees from St. Peter's College in New Jersey, United States of America. The government of the Virgin Islands contracted Ms. Henley in 2007 as Human Resources Manager for Organizational Planning and Development. She was confirmed to the public service in 2010 and has acted as Director of Human Resources during several occasions. Ms. Henley's duties as Acting Director of Human Resources will include providing leadership and guidance on all aspects of the day-to-day activities of the department. She will also be responsible for managing the human resources and training budgets and plans, developing and implementing government projects in order to ensure that human resources are managed and controlled consistently, efficiently, and effectively across all ministries and department. For 284 News, Ron Grant.
Well, up next, plans still exist to construct junior schools on Tortola, and the Cline says VI seeking to restore confidence this election. Well, these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
That's out. That's 6. That's out.
With worldwide medical coverage and affordable premiums, we're like a home match that isn't played at your actual home. CG Insurance. Good like that.
My turn. Oh, come on, guys.
Welcome back, viewers. Our plans to construct junior schools on Tortola remain ongoing, with the Ministry of Education preparing to have final consultation meetings with the residents to discuss the execution. The Education Minister Honorable Shari De Castro made the announcement at a recent press conference as she provided an update on planned infrastructure works for schools.
When I mentioned the Isabella Morris, previously primary school, that is one of those areas that we are seeking to solidify. We are going to re-engage with the community one last time to make sure that we are fully understanding of their needs and what they envision for the completion of that project. And we are also currently seeking to identify land space in the 7th and 8th district to be able to facilitate that junior school in that area. So those plans are ongoing, and hopefully by the fourth quarter of this year, we will be able to give an update on where we are with those.
The announcement of junior schools being established in the territory was first announced in 2021 by the then Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley. While during a community meeting held in the 1st District, he said that works were soon to be commenced on the reconstruction of the abandoned Isabella Morris Primary School for it to become the first of 3 junior schools to be established on Tortola. Well, Dr. Wheatley said that funds were already budgeted for the school, which was severely damaged and deemed structurally unsound following the passage of Hurricane Irma in 2017.
To you, when we evaluated, we determined it was not necessary to bring back Isabella Morris Primary as a primary school, because of course the students who are at Isabella Morris Primary School are being housed comfortably here at Leonora Delville Primary School. But bring it back we must, of course, in honor of the great Isabella Morris, and of course that school is a fixture in the Carrot Bay community, so we must bring it back. But we have been discussing for many years the concept of junior schools, because of course right now everything is centralized in Road Town, and that causes traffic, that causes a huge school that's really too big to manage. So on either end of the island, we are putting junior schools. We've spoken about that for many years, but this administration, under the leadership of Honorable Andrew Foy, will make the junior schools into a reality. And we're starting with Isabella Morris Primary School. The concept is that
Social commentator and talk show host Cline has shared that he believes the people of the Virgin Islands will be looking for as they inevitably take to the polls within the next 4 months. Well, according to Cline, he sees that the electorate will be looking to restore what has been lost in the territory, that is, people's trust and confidence in leadership.
I believe that the people are going to be looking to restore that which has been lost. You know, when you lose something, you set out to get it back, for it to be restored, to regain, right, to recapture. Now let's look at, come closer, lend your ears to what I'm about to tell you right now, because I'm telling you, just as sure as I am a man of God, and I know that I am, but not only that, because I am a discerner of things in this earth, in this guava crop. What has been lost in the Virgin Islands? There's been a complete undermining of the people's confidence in the competencies and character, the trustworthiness, credibility, and integrity of its leadership. That's what's been lost.
While this loss of confidence he attributed to a variety of factors, including people's own doing and outside forces. Well, he also highlighted the arrest of former Premier Andrew Foy as the event that compounded already existed frustrations with the leadership in the territory.
They're going to be looking to restore that which was lost. Integrity, trustworthiness, credibility. They're going to be looking for persons and looking to persons that fits that mold. Now understand this. All of us are fallen creatures living in the fallen world. No one is perfect. No one is without flaw. So we're not talking about that. So don't go off the deep end with that. So there are some persons who we are going to be looking for, who I believe the citizenship of this country will be looking for when they walk in that ballot box. Because, you know, the people of this country have not yet really had a chance to speak. And the greatest voice that they have is come election day when they walk into the ballot box. And I do strongly believe they're going to send a very clear, concrete, and concise statement in regards to leadership in this country.
As he has done on numerous occasions, Cline reiterated his belief that existing situation speaks to the need for female leadership in the territory.
I believe the country needs someone with the kind of gravitas, presence, grace, that their very presence when they walk into to a room that it shifts the atmosphere, it shifts the conversations. That's ideally who I believe as a singular person that the country needs in terms of leadership.
Well, up next, Coy Levons weighs in on future of the BVI and FAA computer outage due to a flawed data file. But these stories when Twit 4 News return.
Yo, everything good there?
Aye. This thing got me one way, daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Welcome back, viewers. One of the Virgin Islands' leading professionals, Mr. Coy Levons, recently spoke on the future of the BVI as well as his ability to serve in a number of professional capacities. While he was at the time speaking as a guest on The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman with our Ron Grant.
The truth is, Ron, you have to accept the reality that is before us. Our reality is before us. And we shouldn't be playing the blame game.
Yes.
We live in a society where we have expatriate community that have access to foreign investment, that have access to links. Why don't we come together as intellectual people, BVI landers? Let us sit down and create a plan and a strategy to get us out of the situation that we're in. So for me, I think that this is the opportune time that Virgin Islanders need to hold them hand together and say, listen, let's go. There's been a lot of talk about who's responsible for what. No, at the end of the day, a country is not 15 elected people.
Right.
A country is all of us. And as I said before, when one fall down, all fall down. The
Agreed.
mentality of you thinking that you escape and the next man fall, to me, is a crab in a barrel mentality.
It is.
And I think that we need to get to the point now where, listen, let's fix our country. And the most beautiful thing about it is the COI has identified our vulnerabilities.
Absolutely.
And all we have to do is put the mitigations in place, my friend, create a plan, and trust God for everything after that.
When asked about the possibility of running for political office, this was his response.
First and foremost, the way that my process operates is I would have to make sure that whatever decision I make, that my house and my home and my family is the sole and most important thing for me. I have to make sure that my foundation is established properly. So if my foundation is established properly, I would look at politics, you know. I mean, excuse me. I question it a lot.
Okay.
Because I'll be honest with you, Ron, and a lot of people may not like to hear this, but politics have us in the situation that we are now, my friend. And,
Fair enough.
And the question is, for me now, should I be in a position where we could contribute to help fixing our country? Or should we go back down the political lane now and have to go through all of the politics and the bureaucracy to get that fixture done? And the question you're asking me is so loaded.
It is a loaded question.
It's a loaded question, and I don't really want to come on the airwaves and
publicly,
and publicly give people an impression that well, I want to run.
Because it's not that easy for you.
It's not that easy for me. Yes, I may have the passion and I have the desire and the drive to do it, but there are certain fundamentals that have to be in place in order for me to commit myself to a journey like that.
That is.
Well, Evans also shared what exactly he envisions and wants for the Virgin Islands.
I would want a Virgin Islands where my children could see their identity in the country that they live in. And your identity is not limited to where you're from, but your identity is limited to who you are as an individual. You want peace. You want the ability to be able to make your decision without retribution. You want the ability to contribute to your society. You want the ability to be a person that grows with your community. And you also want to be someone that treats people the way that you want to be treated. And even though the BVI does not provide an export of anything, I think that what we need to be good at is our customer service. And if we can provide that service, that is our tradition, that is a part of who we are. And there is no other experience in the world than when someone actually does something and it impacts the heart. That is a memory that lives on. And I think that is where we have to get back to. Allow customers to say, oh my God, the experience was the most beautiful experience I've ever experienced in the BVI. So as a word of encouragement as a BVI lander, I think that that's one of the things that I would want to see preserved in our country, the way that we treat each other. And in order for us to be able to preserve that, you and I have to be able to live amongst ourselves good.
Or for that full interview, visit all 284 media platforms. Moving on to some international news, where the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has identified the issue behind a computer outage which led to the first nationwide flight grounding since the 9/11 terrorist attack. Well, according to a release from the administration, the computer outage was caused by a procedural error related to a data file. Well, the data file was reportedly damaged by personnel who failed to follow the necessary procedures. Well, this reveal has, for the most part, quelled rumors that the outage could have been due to the result of a cyber attack. Well, the system is back functioning properly and allowed U.S. airline operations to return to normal by Thursday. Over 12,000 flights were impacted in the initial instance, having been delayed or cancelled on Wednesday following the national grounding order. Viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye-bye.
Introducing a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons. I'm taking you outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's the best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda to Jos Van Dyke, not forgetting Anigada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. We are the movers and shakers of this generation. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Season 4 by yours truly, Ron Grant. Raising a generation of greatness. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 284 Media.
There are many ways to enjoy life. Like so many ways to count on Popular.
That's out.
That's 6.
That's out.
With worldwide medical coverage and affordable premiums, we're like a home match that isn't played at your actual home. CG Insurance. Good like that.
My turn. Oh, come on, guys.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, nickel.